What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Savage Land. Welcome to another episode of The Field. And today on The Field, we will be going over the Gijoe, Hasbro, Haslab, H.I.S.S tank, Cobra Commander, the Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander, and H.I.S.S tank crew. This is a basic little rundown. I decided to open up these set of figures, which I had planned on doing anyway, and they are phenomenal. Everybody knows I gloat over G.I. Joe, man, and they don't fall short of the bar of what I was expecting. Man, there's really not anything wrong with these figures at all, man. Not anything wrong with this Haslab. This Haslab has been a great experience. This Haslab has been a refreshing experience, which I expected a good product, but to be kind of honest with you, man, ever since I backed this, it's really been kind of out of my mind. It's been there, but it's not nothing like, I wonder what they're doing with the H.I.S.S tank or how it's going to turn out or anything like that. It just really left my mind, and I was like, when it get here, then I'll truly know what it is, man. And I've been taken back, man. It's been a great project. I'm glad I backed it. But let's get into the figures. So first I'm gonna go through the H.I.S.S tank crew, and then I'll go through Cobra Commander, and then I got some honorable mentions that I'll mention. We're up first. I received a 3 3/4 H.I.S.S tank driver, and it looks just like this guy. And this one right here is like that 3 3/4 inch figure on 100. Great sculpt, great buck. We'll start with the head. The helmet looks good. The visor kind of has like a silver like paint on it, so it's almost reflective when light shines on it. As far as the neck, it has a double ball joint. I truly see why we do miss a hinge in the G.I. Joe neck. It definitely gives it that little bit of extra range to look up, but they still move good. Like coming down the figure, you can see like this, like soldier is like beefy. This is a little bit more beefier than seems like your average Cobra soldier. He almost has like Outback or Storm Shadow arms, just really big beefy biceps and triceps. A lot of sculpt. My favorite part of these drivers, even with the 3 3/4, was always the plate on the front. It looked like a plate, but you could never tell what it was. At least I didn't know. But it's a bulletproof vest, and with the classified being bigger, you can see the straps in the back, man. So it looks good. It's a lot of sculpt on there, and I really don't see any really paint mishaps. Not even on the visor. That looks like the most painted part because it's silver, but paint looks good, and the plastic looks real good. The red is a real deep red. Arms, of course, double jointed. They have no problem moving out of the box. They wasn't stiff or anything like that. They move very well, and even when you hold them in hand, they feel like a quality Joe. You know, you got a quality Joe, and then now this new case kind of like Gummy Joe. All of these figures, Cobra Commander, the H.I.S.S tank crew, they're all quality figures in hand. They feel great, and the plastic on them feels good. Far as the on his arm, he has like this like little meter, like little readout. Looks good, man. They put paint on that, green paint, black and gold paint. Looks like it has a gray plastic. Far as his wrist moves up and down and horizontal on the left hand. Of course, got the drop down legs, thigh cut. Double jointed knees, and what I call like a sock cut, which is really not at the boot, but it's down towards the bottom, towards the ankle, which works just as good as a boot cut, man. There's a few toys I got that sock cut, mostly Fei Long, and then there's a few other ones, especially in G.I. Joe with the suited figures. But the boots, these thigh high boots, looks like some women's boots, like going to the club or something, about to pull them thigh highs on. But they go all the way up, and they remind me of a tank tread when I feel them too, and I look at them. But far as his holster, they got a little 9mm on the side. Has this rifle gun with sort of kind of like a bayonet on it at the tip, like a little knife. It has a clip that goes in it. I mean, it's cool, but this is like the stuff they normally came with anyway, but I definitely won't be using. If anything, if I'm gonna put some guns in his hand, I'm gonna put a Valiverse rifle or a better looking G.I. Joe rifle, man, because this is, I never really felt this. But also he comes with a set of fists with almost kind of like boxing gloves on it. So let's just a nice figure, man. They're beefy guys. They're like some kind of big boys, man. And the Tactician driver is virtually the same thing. Tactician, I will say this: G.I. Joe community did a good job of kind of urging people like, hey, look, you're gonna want to go with the black and red, because I was one of them that went against the grain. I picked like black and purple or some shit, because I was like, man, the whole thing is in that color. I don't want that. But I'm glad guys push for that, because he's the perfect opposite to this crew. Just that almost kind of invert or flip-flop color, and he looks good. Has the red helmet, just like the driver, but I think it's the same helmet when I look at it. Yeah, probably the same head but different neck. Of course, double ball joint. That black plate looks real good with that Cobra logo on it, and that's what sets it off. These like Cobra insignias on their chest, man. It just pops, man. And he's pretty much the same thing as the H.I.S.S tank driver. He just got a flip-flop color. That's it. This is basically a repaint in the same package, which is cool with me, man. This figure right here, the Tactician, was the figure that we got for backing in the first day, and he almost looks like, in a certain sense, he's bigger than the driver, but it's not, man. It's the same old. It was just something messing with me. I will say this: their ankles don't feel weak, but I don't know. Maybe I was having a problem with balance. But it seemed I would watch for that in the future. But it's nothing crazy. It's not weak. I just can't explain. Something with the hinge. You know, sometimes it'd be tight, but then it'll be loose in a certain area. So I don't know. We'll see in time. But other than that, I've had no problem with articulation. I've had no problem far as their weapons. The guns are hard like the old G.I. Joe classified, and I guess they get to pick and choose which figures they use the softer plastic on, which figures they use the quality plastic on. And of course they made the choice with everything in this G.I. Joe package. Every gun, the treads, everything, the plastic made to use it. They made sure everything was A1, man, in this package. I've had not a problem with anything. But let's go to the gunner, the girl. Now I will say this is the only one thing that's gummy in this package, and it's not her, it's the shovel. That is gummy. That is gummy. Not crazy gummy, because the actual shovel part is, but maybe the handle. But her other weapon, like this pick and hammer thing, looks feels real good, man. And she is basically almost looks like a Valkyrie mold. A guy pointed out to me the other day, said she's the Chun-Li mold, and I was like, what the hell is he talking about? Then I had to think about it, and it was the Street Fighter Power Rangers mold, where Chung was got a helmet for Chun-Li. But I haven't seen that figure. I'm gonna take a look at it in the future. But when I looked at the head, I'm like, you know what, that might be it. But I'm pretty sure she almost had the Valkyrie body, because the butt looks the same. Them Valkyries kind of had like little big butts on them and shit. So I'm thinking, but I don't know. I don't own Valkyrie in hand yet. That'll be the next thing I gotta get, man, because it's an exclusive and it sucks to have to do that. But I gotta do it. But she looks good. Double jointed arms. She's a beefier female. Her arms are beefier than, say, Baroness. Baroness still has those kind of like rail arms, but she has a little bulk to her. Of course, has the same breastplate on there, and like I said, I think it's just the same ordeal as the Valkyrie. But she also has new bottom legs, of course, for the boots, the thigh-high boots, just like the guys. That looks like tank treads. Same articulation. She doesn't have a boot cut at the bottom. She has an ankle, ankle cut, or a sock cut, I like to call it, and it works just as well as a boot cut, man. So she's A1. She's actually the best the best out of all these guys, because she has the better weapons. Then she has a cool shotgun, which has the shells painted and everything. It looks really good. Also hard too. A hard weapon, a hard gun from G.I. Joe. So hopefully, man, they can get back to that, man. But it looks like a better look. This is almost the best looking G.I. Joe gun I've seen. Now that I think about it, because I'm not a big fan of their guns, even as they switch them over. I mean, they still, like, Valiverse guns still look better, but this right here ain't like a gun like Stalker's gun, like his regular machine gun. They're A1 with me, and this looks really good. She also comes with a set of fists also too, so she's the most accessorized. And I guess I say she's like kind of like my favorite to me, because she's different from the two other guys. But all three figures are solid, man. Solid. All of them feel really good. All of them feel really quality. All of them look really good with the tank. It's just, man, this H.I.S.S tank, man, has been it's gonna go down in history, man, as one of the best best, I don't even care funded or what, just the one of the best toys ever, toy vehicles. I don't see anything kind of topping this right now, man. There's been a lot of stuff coming out. It doesn't matter how big a vehicle is. It's just like what it's got going on, the playability with it, and the H.I.S.S tank definitely takes it to the next level. But also, I want to do some honorable mentions right quick. This 3-pack, I slept on it. This Crimson 3-pack, I finally got it. One for myself. The Baroness is phenomenal. She looks really good. Her paint hints, the double jointed arm, she even feels different. She doesn't even feel like the other Baroness, man. I can really rock with this Baroness. I can really use this, and I'll definitely be using this for the playability. The other Baroness would just pretty much be a shelf statue, man. For the rest, she would be a representation, but this Baroness is definitely getting played with. The Crimson Twins, of course, good figures. They just repainted, and basically, man, that's why I shot it down so much, because it is just a repaint. But this Baroness is dope, and her face is real pretty, man. It's just definitely a sleeper 3-pack. Definitely a sleeper 3-pack. I'm glad it didn't sell out, because it took me a while to get it, just so I can do for my numerical order. But I'm glad I came across it, because I can deal with this Baroness until they need to put all females on that Black Widow body or that style. But she definitely could use like a little bit more in the waist area, the ab. But she can move around good. She can squat down good and everything. And she feels quality. She feels quality now, man. And they did a good job on that. Also, man, Snow Job is a fucking rock star, man. I downplayed him too. And that's what this is. I'm just giving some shout outs to some downplayed figures that it took me a while to get, that's been out for a minute. But if he's not a rock star, he's a country star. He's in Nashville. He ain't got to be in Hollywood, but he's on point, man. He's a great figure, man. He's one of the ones that when you feel in the hand, you feel the quality of plastic. I love the articulation in his jacket, how they kind of separated the pieces so he can move around in that parka coat. I love the playability where you can switch out and put the hood down or have the hood over. His hair looks phenomenal, man. He is a rock star. He's added to the list of my rock star G.I. Joes, man. There's some favorite Joes that I have in my whole collection, man, and he is there. And his pack out is loaded all on his back, and he carries it. It looks great. I don't know if I fully got it correct on how it goes. I know like I said, I just bust him out the box, but that's how I knew he's a rock star. As soon as I clipped them plastic pieces off and scooped them up out of that little coffin thing, I'm like, damn, he feels good to him. I'm like, damn, he looks good. And he looks even better with these polarized sun goggles or whatever, man. I can't even think, but he's a good looking figure, man. Great figure. But now let's get into Cobra Commander, Cobra Commander. Great action figure, man. This is the mold right here. If we're gonna get this mold in the future, you guys are in for a treat. Like I said, I ordered 3, so I planned on doing this anyway. And I still have one in the cut. Actually, yeah, still got one in the cut, man. Definitely for sure sealed. But he's he is good. He is fun to pose around. This one right here, and like I have the 4 Cobra Commanders up here. Like I'm pretty sure when that new one come out with the regular symbol, he'll probably be a different shade of blue, just like how they did earlier in the classified line, and just like how you see up here with these 4 Cobra Commanders. Every last one of them is a different shade of blue. You got the 3 3/4, which is almost like a Carolina blue. You have the original classified, which from the gang version, the G.I. Joe blackout version, I believe that's the name of the game, as in like a navy blue. You have the G.I. Joe retro line. He's kind of almost like in a processed blue, kind of a mix between light blue and dark blue. And then you kind of have the new classified retro, almost like in a royal blue, almost just slightly lighter than a royal blue. But everybody has a different hue of blue, and they're all kind of different in their own way. I didn't know how big the 4-inch was over the 3 3/4. He kind of almost towers over, so that's why I see the vehicles may not be compatible sometimes. But man, let's get into this new classified one. First off, he looks good. I don't know if it's, I'm pretty sure he has some paint on him, but I'm pretty sure that it's blue plastic that he's mostly in. But he looks very clean, very uniform. Like the old classified version looks like Captain Crunch and shit. You know what I'm saying? He has like Michael Jackson fucking military jacket on and shit, and it's too flashy. But you know what? The cool thing about that, you can still use that in your line, like when he really wants to get dressed up and be pompous and, you know, do a speech or something. But of course, we're all used to this military kind of get up, which is a little bit more, I guess he can get physical in that. For one, he has on fucking leggings, because nobody ever talks about like the strap that goes up under his foot. That's like women's leggings. Like my mom used to wear like leggings like that in the 90s and shit, man. But nobody ever wants to talk about that. But he looks good, very clean. The silver hints for like his like the metals, like that buttons in his jacket, they pop really good. And then that big red Mickey Mouse Cobra logo on there pops really big too, and it's big, man. It shows very well. But as far as his face mask, I think that is the most painted part of this. That silver just pops, man. They had to put the most paint into that, which it seems like he doesn't need much paint at all, but red, a little bit more blue paint on his blue plastic, man, and some black. But going down his body, his articulation, he has great butterfly joints. Not so much in, but you can like go back deep. But it still works great, better than this older one, because the older one has a lot of get up on it. He's a little bit more freer. Like I said, this is a very like agile. You can get kind of busy with this Cobra Commander. One thing we are sorely missing is a neck hinge to look up, man, so when he can crouch down, because when you drop his legs down, you can kick him out really far, man. He can really crouch. His ab crunch is really good, man, and the double jointed arms with the butterfly joint makes it work really well. And then as far as his neck articulation, pretty much same as every Joe. He can get busy like every Joe, and his feet are kind of big, so he's easier to stand than the older one. The older one wasn't hard to stand, just his feet were kind of slim. But this one has some nice big feet on him. Far as his backpack on his back, I didn't know that was a backpack, to be honest with you, that held his gun. And that little small gun pretty much clips on there. But it's cool. It's out of the way. The only thing that's in the way is that damn sheath on his leg that pretty much holds his knife. Knife has silver paint. That knife actually is soft plastic, but I can almost understand with that. It's a teeny tiny knife, man. Something a little small like that could probably prick your eye out or something like that. But mostly that's going to stay in the sheath. The sheath does fall, but it never really kind of makes it past the knee. I'm gonna try to heat mine up and pull it up a little bit more, get more around that thigh, but I really wish that was molded in, so he can be a little bit more, you know, versatile and not have to worry about that strap coming down. But as far as these straps going around him, like his belt, all that is molded in. Looks like it has black paint with some little bit of red, hints of red paint on there. As far as the stripe down his leg goes all the way down to the bottom, that's a premium thing. It didn't stop at the shoe. Now I looked up under to see if it goes up under the shoe, but it doesn't. But it should have. It probably would have been dope, but I don't know. Maybe it would have thrown it off a little bit as far as standing, because the paint is under the foot, so it stops at the side, which I don't have no problem like with that. But all of the paint, the little bit of paint that it has on it, hits so hard because the blue looks so good on him. And it's like I said, even the curvature of his helmet. I'm a hooded Cobra Commander guy. I would like to see that, but I am definitely pleased with this. This is kind of almost the first time of this iteration where I'm like, yo, this shit is fire. I like this head, helmeted head Cobra Commander. But man, it is a great figure. I think it's the best Cobra Commander I ever handled in my hands, to be quite honest with you. And you guys are gonna love the mold on this thing. It's fun, and I said it's just a plain basic figure, but you can really get busy with him. I hadn't had a chance to get deep with him or anything like that, but Of course, in the next month or so, I will. And like I said, I'm glad I got it out for my enjoyment. And it's always cool to have a piece like this loose in your collection, because people can always have stuff carded and boxed up. It's always cool when somebody like, yeah, you know, you can hold it, you can have it in hand. And which most time is nothing special about the next piece. Like this, nothing gonna be different with this from the one that comes out. Besides that, this one has a special paint on it or whatnot, man. But far as figures, same figure. And also a little note too, I put up in my community post that Entertainment Earth had a sale on Super 7 Cobra Commander for like $10.99. Man, I jumped on him because crazy thing in my head is I knew that Cobra Commander had a soft goods cape. So I went on and ordered it, man, just basically paying $10.99 for that cape, and I'm gonna modify that cape and let my man right here use it. It's a more of a pink cape, but I might freak it. I might like it like that. I don't know if I really want to dye it or not, but like I said, man, this is I've been having fun with this Cobra Commander out the gate. Also, he comes with a buffet of hands. How could I forget that? Also, and then this globe with the snake on it. It's a golden snake. It's painted up really well. Almost looks like it comes from Super 7. That's probably why I remember, because I started talking about Super 7. But his hands of course has 2 trigger hands, 2 fisted hands, and then he has a pointing hand. Which pretty much is the Sergeant Slaughter treatment, man. So he definitely came quality. The card back that it was on was a harder card back, but not as hard as the Marvel card backs. The Marvel card backs almost like hardback books, man. But this one's definitely better than the other one. The other one was definitely paper thin. But like I said, this Cobra Commander is A1 in my book. When the mold comes out for the new one, you guys are definitely gonna love this. If you guys ever buy the H.I.S. Tank Crew online, just for store to put in your numerical order or just to have them, these are quality figures. These are the tip top Joes right here. You won't be dissatisfied with the H.I.S. Tank Crew if you get them online. But this is the Savage Land. We do this for the love and beauty of G.I. Joe, Hasbro, Haslabs. If you can, give me a like, comment, subscribe. And with that being said, until the next time, God bless.